my med school journey series. With me here, I'm having Dr. Kanai and Miss Mwanza. This is our 5th episode. Tell me, how are you?
Good thing, Kanai.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask you questions about religious. Yes. First question which I have here is, do you think religious is important in someone's academic life?
So for that question, that's a definite yes. One's religious life is very important, especially in our medical field. In that this is a busy field, usually we're overwhelmed with so many things to do. And usually religious life helps us get away from that life. And even encouraging wise, it's very nourishing. And so I really believe as a medical student, your religious life is very important, and it should be part of life as a medical student. It should not be left behind.
Sometimes there are conflicts that arise between religious and school principals. What do you think is significant?
Okay, so concerning the conflicts that arise between religion and academic life as medical students, that's a very sensitive topic. Yes, but very true. Yes, I've seen a lot of this during the time I've stayed here at the campus. Yes, but to answer that, I'll keep it simple. It being a sensitive topic, I believe it should be. I want to individualize it in that really it's about what you believe in, because I believe we come from different religions with different denominations, different doctrines, with different beliefs on certain days, which becomes challenging for most medical students in school. But again, I believe as a medical student, you have to look at what your priorities are in life and how things are going, because you find you may decide to sacrifice some of your medical time, but again, you need to find a balance, strike a balance between the risk you're taking and your religious life. Because again, if you look at the way medical school is, it should not be a matter of, it should not seem as if you're challenging your lecturers and all that. And as much as you're trying to stick to your beliefs, yes, you need to come to a point where you strike a balance between your beliefs, them not affecting school, and it also helping you in your everyday life. So basically, I would answer that by saying it's an individual decision, because you really have a balance between your religious life and your education. Yes, I don't think I would go so much or give so much detail into that, but I believe as an individual, just find time to strike a balance between your school life and your religious life, and make sure there is no conflict in there. Make sure your beliefs are not conflicting with your academic life. Yes.
Okay, our next question is, some students in religious going to church, it's a sheer waste of time. I'll finish my anatomy, I'll finish my biology, my neuroscience. How did you manage the time?
Okay, so one thing as a medical student, one thing you need to accept is that in as much as you need to study a lot, you need to spend a lot of time studying, you cannot spend your entire time studying. Yes, and we all have different days, different times when we study. So personally, I got to a point where I had to find the right time when I would study best. And you have to, and I had to make sure that in that time I maximize, so that in my free time I now dedicate that time to my religious activities, going to church and doing all other church-related activities. Yes, otherwise you cannot manage as a medical student where you study the entire time. These are the times where you find now people start having mental breakdowns, start being stressed a lot, which is not so good for a medical student. So in that free time, just find time to, divide your time. You study, in your free time, you balance it between your religious life, even other extracurricular activities.
Do you think there are some things that can be done so that school can be including religious affairs and kids in some of them?
Okay, so concerning that question as well, how school can be more inclusive in our religious activities. So as a Christian, you need to understand that medicine is saving a life, learning how to save a life, how to treat people. That is part of worship. And I think the problem comes in when you want to separate the two. Because you find as a medical student, you'll be required to work on a Saturday, on a Sunday, when you should be, say, at a church gathering, at your various places of worship. So if you try and separate the two, it sort of becomes challenging. So I think as medical students, we need to, understand that what we're doing, our career is part of worship. But yeah, if we understand that, it becomes easy and much better in terms of how including the school in our religious activities. Yes.
And by the way, I forgot to tell you, the shirt is nice.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, our last question is, what advice can you give to someone who thinks, I can't manage church and school, but I just concentrate on church? Yeah, what advice can you give?
So the advice I would give is that medical school will take up most of your time. There will be times when you're so drained and you need to look to other places for inspiration, motivation. Yeah, because 90% of your time, I can tell you that is spent mostly either you're studying, you're at the ward, and you're trained. The only time you get say to meet up with your friends, large gatherings, mostly as a medical student, is in religious activities. That's where you get refreshed, nourished. So we just need to, find a balance between your school, your academics, and your spiritual life. Because your academics will definitely stress you, but then your spiritual life, meeting up with friends, that will nourish you, that will refresh you. So it is very important. We need to strike a balance.
Last question that I have for you is, Doc, tell us. So, if it was to happen that you've fallen in love with a Catholic sister, would you make them resign sisterhood?
That's a tricky question. So with a Catholic man, like a sister, right? No, I wouldn't, because I feel like, though I'm not sure, not that I'm not sure, I wouldn't make them resign or try and make them resign, because I feel like they're already close to God, and maybe me making them resign may draw them back. Yeah, so I'd rather, when it comes to my personal feelings, me loving that person and drawing them away from God, I think I would pick the other, that is letting them be with their religious life, so that I don't draw them away from God.
Dog, love, that same love. You can't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather they focus more on their religious life.
Oh, thank you. That's we get our interview.